We're going to work with styrofoam today, and this is a really easy way to create a plate for our printmaking technique. So I bought just some regular styrofoam that they sell at the craft store, or you can even use whatever comes with your meat sometimes, but you know, please wash it off because, oh, anyway, you want to get a piece of styrofoam. Now what I have done is I have a piece of 8x10, a regular paper that I folded into 4 squares so I know exactly what size my design should be, because I want to fill the whole square with my design. And I selected a cupcake because I just love desserts. You can pick anything you want. It could be a face, a thing, anything you want as your design. And the way I transferred my design is by putting pencil lead on the back, and I actually cut my styrofoam into the square so it kind of looks, it fits my square. And I went ahead and traced it very lightly with a pencil onto my styrofoam plate. It's hard to see, but it's there. Now to actually create the plate, this is what we call our printing plate, is I'm going to take a pen, because it's got a really sharp edge, and I'm going to trace where I have my design and push it down into the styrofoam. So you can see how it goes in really deep, and just do now. They might be a little wobbly. That's okay. That's okay, because it's hard to make a perfect straight line. It's not, you know, it's gonna, as long as it matches your original drawing as close as possible, that's okay. So, and the reason we use this pen is because the sharp point will really dig in there. And I kind of go over just to make sure it's really deep, so the cuts are deep. And that's your plate. So what you're going to do is, once you get your paper, we are going to use markers. And I'm going to have you do any kind of marker that you want. But let me just show you what it's going to look like and what you'll need to do. Basically, you're going to take a marker and cover your design. Please go all the way to the end of your plate, because you want the whole plate, your design to show, and you want the paint to be all on the plate. This can be a little messy, but do the best you can. Okay, once you get your marker, you're going to start with your and be careful that you don't put your paper on a messy print side, because you want to try to keep as clean as possible. But let's say this is my first, oh my goodness, look, I got that. This is my first side. I'm going to put my plate down carefully. You don't want it, once it touches the paper, you don't want it to move around on you. You're just going to press really hard. It's like make like a stamp, and when you pick it up, you should see your design on the paper. And you're going to do this on 4 of the squares. So you're going to do 2 more on this side, but this time we're going to change color. And I don't mind, you can wash this off with water or with a towel, but sometimes I like to leave a color underneath, because then you've got a really fun mix of colors, and it creates an even more interesting design with. And this is, you're going to experiment with lots of different markers, with lots of different colors, because now that you have the plate made, every print you make you'll have an opportunity on every print to do something different and creative. So let's do another one. Let's do this green one on this on this side of the paper, okay? So I take my print again, and you know, let me do another technique. This is a better technique. Put the plate down And then take your paper and put it on top. And that way when you press, you can see where you're pressing. And this is actually much easier and much better for you because you can almost tell. And it's easier to pick up the paper and see your beautiful design. Isn't that cool? Now remember, if you do letters, if you're doing letters on your plate, you have to do them backwards because everything that's printing is going to be backwards. As you can see on my plate, my sherry's on the right side, but when I make my print, the sherry's going to be on the left side because you're doing a copy. So if I was to do letters, let's say I wanted to do my name or just my initials, instead of doing, my initials are P and G, instead of doing PG that way, I would have to do a P this way. It's hard to do with a pencil. That's why the pen works so much better. And then my G would have to go that way. Does that make sense? So that when I print it, and let's do this is a quick sample. If I print my PG, let's grab it, just a little paper to show you. If I make a print, and I just love printmaking, it's just so much fun. When I pick up my paper, my PG is going in the right direction. If you want to isolate your design, which means you don't want the background, the best thing to do is to just take your marker and color only your design. And then when you press it down, you will get just your design by itself. For this assignment, you will produce 12 different prints. It may take you many prints to come up with some really good ones, but in the end you will have to submit 12 of your best. Now you are also welcome to use a marker and outline areas of your print just to give it a little more definition. Do not color them in. The whole beauty of printmaking is that the color that you get is always really more dynamic than if you were coloring in yourself. So have fun, enjoy doing some fabulous prints.